Let's go out to Rob Demovsky, who's joining us now to tell us what we need to know. Rob, how you doing today?
All right, Jen, how are you?
You're doing all right? Are you being honest with me? You could tell me if you're not doing all right.
These night games are rough, man. I'm tired.
Yeah, Wildy
I
told
didn't
us
get
he went
home
to bed.
till 2:30. I didn't get home till 2:30 in the morning.
Yeah, Wildy said he went to bed at 3:12. I'm guessing yours was somewhere in that ballpark as well.
Yeah, well, probably.
Here's a question for you. Does Matt LaFleur understand his offense right now? Does he have a handle on his offense right now?
Here's the thing, and I think this relates to this, Jen. I don't know if you guys saw the Josh Jacobs quote. He said, we can't just keep saying, all right, we're going to address it. We've got to find actual answers. And he said, I don't know what the answers are. And I'm not sure that if the coach does, but he better. Like, that's his job, right? Like, I didn't necessarily understand why he went into this game just hell-bent on running it. And then when it wasn't super effective, like, didn't really adjust or change. I do think they have major problems, concerns, whatever, about the offensive line, about protection. Elton Jenkins, the whole thing moving to center, I don't think was working, and now it's terrible because he broke his ankle or broke his leg, and so I think they've got all kinds of problems. But Jacobs is right. Like, we can't just keep saying, we got to do this or we got to fix it. How do you fix it? Like, let's see what they do.
Rob, you know the leadership on this team, and I've been in situations. The defense is playing at a very high level, and the offensive isn't. So you'd be fooling yourself not to think that behind closed doors the defense is going. I mean, are you kidding me with the offense? Would you be surprised if this team mails it in?
I'd be surprised if they mail it in right now because it's still only early November. If they lose to the Giants, look out, man, because after that, like, they have the run of 3 straight division games. I think it's home against Minnesota, at Detroit on Thanksgiving, and then home against Chicago. Like, it's that's the key stretch right there, Chewy. I mean, if they can't win those, 2 of those 3 division games, it could be big trouble. I do think right now, the defensive guys they said all the right things. We're in this together. Those guys will come out of it. But I mean, Jordan Love, I'm sure you heard the quote. He said, if I were those defensive guys, I'd say, what are you guys doing? And I think at some point it becomes that. I don't necessarily think it's quite there yet, but that's the danger.
Rob, we've been having a conversation this morning about the rest of the staff on the offensive side with Matt LaFleur. Do they all just kind of fall in line, or is there somebody who actually challenges LaFleur on ideas and they have kind of some productive conversations behind closed doors?
Well, and just to add to that, we were saying, like, for all of the criticism that we would say about Aaron Rodgers, just run the plays that LaFleur calls, etc. He may have been the one guy who could hold his feet to the fire and say, this isn't working and this is why it's not working.
That's a great point. Love said last night that 4th and 1 was that a toss play or whatever that was, a shotgun run where they ended up failing badly, and Jacobs fumbled. He said that was LaFleur's call, not his. Like, does the quarterback need to be able to, in those situations?
Because I think most situations, Rob, when you're going no huddle in that point. And Chew, I guess, correct me if I'm wrong here, I just assume the quarterback's calling those plays. So that was and I'm glad that he answered that, because I was under the assumption, just watching it live, like, why would Love decide to do that? And then he said, nope, that was Matt's call.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, no, I'm with you, Gabe, and I guess I thought that too. Now, maybe with a younger quarterback, it doesn't work that way anymore. But to your point, Jen, about is there anybody to hold him accountable? I'm not sure. I mean, you look at the staff. First of all, when I came out of the Philly playoff game last year, I came out of there going, all right, they're going to change D-line coaches. They're going to change O-line coaches. They changed one of them. I really think that, maybe the problem starts up front, and not necessarily all because of coaching, but certainly coaching and injuries have a lot to do with that. And the other thing too is, everyone wants to maybe bag on Nathaniel Hackett, and he was clearly not a good play caller and not a good head coach, but I wonder if he was a guy who was that guy for LaFleur. They haven't had a whole lot of change on the coaching staff, not a lot of turnover. You want guys to get jobs so that it brings in new ideas. Hackett's the only guy who's left here, and maybe that was a big problem. Maybe he was better than we thought. But even if he wasn't, they haven't had a lot of, it's year 7, and they haven't had a lot of new ideas coming into the building. Luke Getsy is back. I'm not sure if he was supposed to be that guy, but you can't just keep. I say this all the time. You can't just keep doing the same thing over and over. And to get new ideas, you need new coaches.
Well, you bring up Hackett, and I know he's been doing stuff like as a special assistant or whatever on the defensive side. Is there any chance they could go, hey, come over here, take a look at the offensive side because we worked together so well when you did that?
Yeah, at this point, I mean, maybe they should, Gabe. It's a really good point. They need something because what they're doing right now, it's not working. And go back to the Jacobs thing. They better find some answers.
How rattled is Love?
Well, I would say he looked maybe a little shell shocked. I don't know if that's the same as rattled, Chewy. Maybe it is. But yeah, I definitely think he's lost his confidence. This looks like the first half of 2023. They did snap out of it, and obviously Love went on that great run. I also think they really missed Jaden Reed probably. I mean, he was sort of the security blanket. And when he went out, obviously, Tucker Kraft became more of that player, and now they don't have him. So it seems like it takes a long time for these guys to find the way to overcome things. I mean, Jaden Reed goes down, and they should have been feeding Tucker Kraft right away, and it took them a few games before they did. Now Kraft's gone. Should they have been feeding Christian Watson or somebody else? But yeah, again, that could go back to the coaching thing.
Well, to that point, Bo Melton plays a crap ton last night. He gets 5 targets when I feel like everybody's been begging for Matthew Golden to get some of those targets. And when Golden plays, there's only been 2 games where he's had 5 or more targets, and Bo Melton plays once and he's getting 5 targets.
Yeah, I don't understand the 26 snaps that he played. I think it was more than Malik Heath, and Malik Heath's in the receiver room every day. The drop. The one that hit him in the chest, you have to make that catch. You had the penalty for not being lined up right, I believe. And, that's just stuff. Look, he's not in the offensive meeting room. He's a cornerback. The odd thing is he hasn't played a single snap at cornerback all year. We spent all this time about his move over there. He's played receiver and special teams. So I didn't understand that choice, Gabe. I really didn't get it.
Rob, we got a lot of folks in the Carbless Talking text line and on the YouTube stream who are asking, what is Goody's role in all of this? And let's go specifically to the offensive line. Did Goody err in not going out and getting, bona fide guys to replace the guys they lost on the offensive line?
Well, they let Josh Myers go because they didn't think he was physical enough, right? And that's going back to the Eagles game. I've said this many times, Jen, that you can screw up in the regular season, and it's not as big a deal. You screw up in the playoffs, and that's when changes come, which is another reason I thought they were going to change O-line coaches because they got manhandled in that game. Their response was to let Josh Myers go and bring in Aaron Banks because he's this physical mauler guy, which we have not seen, or I haven't seen it.
Those are just rumors at this point, Rob.
Goody's in a weird spot, though, because, he's not LaFleur's boss. This is a case where maybe it would be beneficial that he is. This is the age-old structure question that we've been talking about since 2018 when Mark Murphy made the change and hired Goody but didn't give him authority over the head coach. Did Goody maybe make some mistakes in free agency? Yeah, with Hobbs and Banks. Looks like maybe he has, but he's also – his track record when he has gone into free agency has been pretty good. So I guess, I'm willing to maybe say, okay, just maybe had a bad couple of signings and with the Matthew Golden point that Gabe makes, maybe this is why he never drafted receivers in the first round because he didn't think his coaches would feed them like you would need to justify taking a receiver that high in the draft. So, it's all part of it, but from Goody's standpoint, he went out and he got Micah Parsons. He did what people wanted with the first round receiver. He doesn't have authority over the coach, so he can't maybe go in there and say, you need to do this, or you need to play this guy, or run this scheme, or whatever.
Rob, are they going to roll with Sean Ryan at center, and are they one injury away from disaster?
I'd argue they might be there already, Chewy. But
all right, sweet.
Yeah.
Now it feels like a funeral.
Yeah.
I mean, they used word. I think it was the coach, maybe it was the quarterback. Used the word "we malfunctioned." What? To me, that's Control Alt Delete, man. It reminds me of one of those movie malfunction. But yeah, I would think Jacob Monk is the only other option. This is a guy they drafted as a center a year and a half ago, and he really hasn't played. So maybe that's the way they go, but they didn't go that way last night. And Sean Ryan's played a lot of snaps for these guys.
So going back to the Goody thing real quick, I think we would all agree that the Matt LaFleur seat is hot. And Goody's seat, if we're being honest, was hot to begin the year because he was in the same boat of, Ed Policy saying, hey, you got 2 years left. I don't like having lame ducks. But I'm not giving you a contract extension. That to me is the definition of a hot seat. Go prove it.
Yeah.
Do you think that Goody is on the hot seat, and how this team finishes is also going to kind of reflect back on him? Or do you think because of the Micah Parsons moves and some of the other things that he's done that he finds himself in a safer spot than LaFleur?
I mean, yeah, if you were to ask me who's in a safer spot of the two, I would think it would be Goody. But here's the thing, Gabe, we don't know Ed Policy in terms of what his decision-making is. I mean, we know what we've known him as the second man, the right-hand man for the last 12 or 13 years since he's been here and has been promoted up the ladder. But, we don't know if he even agreed with Mark Murphy's decision to structure it the way he did. We don't know exactly if he would have hired Matt LaFleur if he was making the decision, or Goody or whatever. There's so many unknowns. We don't even know if he's a guy who would shake it up, this early. And by this early, I mean in his tenure, not in, LaFleur and Goody have been around for quite a while. Is that something that Ed would do? I don't think he necessarily meant to do this. But by saying what he said and what you recounted him saying about the hot seat and the lame duck thing, I don't know that he did those guys any favors. And again, I don't think he meant it like they better win or else. That's the edict. But that's what he said basically. I mean, with 2 years left in your contract and you don't believe in lame duck coaches or would rather not have lame duck coaches. Then what else are we to say? But this season is the season that he's judging them on, which obviously is because it's his first time in the job. But maybe by unintended consequences, he didn't necessarily do those guys any favors.
Rob, we appreciate you hanging out with us this morning. Get some sleep today if you can, man, and we'll talk to you again soon.
Yeah, no access today, so I guess we won't hear any more excuses or find any more solutions. So I guess we have to wait till tomorrow. But I appreciate you guys, and we'll be seeing you next week.
He's Rob Demovsky. You can, of course, follow him on social and read his stuff on ESPN.com.
Hey, guys, it's Jen from Jen, Gabe, and Chewy. Thanks for watching our clip. I'm sure it was super informative and educational. I'm just kidding. I love those knuckleheads. And we do it live every Monday through Friday from 7 to 9 a.m. on 94.5 ESPN Milwaukee. Make sure that you like and subscribe and hit that notification bell so that you get informed anytime we drop new content.